514 and 614.
I'm Tara Petrolino, and for all things high school, join me on the next High School Journal, only on MSG Varsity.
The Bronx is charged up for softball excitement as the Tigers of Maria Regina do battle with the Falcons of Cardinal Spellman. Who will take the win? Find out right here on High School Sports Showcase, only on MSG Varsity. Another Optimum exclusive.
MSG Varsity presents High School Sports Showcase from Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx. The pilots of Cardinal Spellman host the Maria Regina Tigers. Hello, everyone. Rich Ackerman along with Tara Petrolino. And Tara, today we have a rivalry renewed. One is very competitive between these two schools. And if there's any concern that Maria Regina head coach Liz Pugsley has, it's her team's composure, but she could take solace in the fact that she has 10 seniors and she'll lean heavily on second baseman Maria Polino.
Maria is a 3-year starter for this squad, a 2-year captain. As you mentioned, she will start at second base, is such a solid defender. She is a lockdown out there in the infield, and offensively, she pretty much will swing at everything and is accurate at that. She has a true love of the game that translates every time she steps on the field.
Perhaps not as much experience for Spellman, just 2 seniors in their starting lineup, but they're carried by a pair of sophomores who are twins, the Quinones sisters, Christine and Victoria, who may just be their best player.
Victoria's been playing this sport since she was in 2nd grade, and now as a sophomore, she is really starting to hit her stride on the varsity level. She has an exceptional arm and could really play anywhere in the infield and at the plate. Well, she is just locked down with a batting average of over 800 right now.
A rivalry renewed. First pitch next between Maria Regina and Cardinal Spellman on MSG Varsity.
For everything electronic, say hello to OptimumStore.com. Find the phone that's right for you. Check out the exclusive deals on DECT 6.0 cordless phones, giving you better reception and a longer battery life. Plus, get great savings on name brand electronics and more. Shop OptimumStore.com today, exclusively for Optimum customers.
Brooklyn has softball fever as another showdown on the diamond heats up. Catch the Grand Street Chiefs as they do battle with the James Madison Golden Knights. Who will take home the win? Find out right here on High School Sports Showcase, only on MSG Varsity. Another Optimum exclusive.
Your school, your stories, your place to find it all. MSGVarsity.com. With game highlights, scores, events, and featured content from TV at MSGVarsity.com. You are the ultimate insider.
Welcome back to Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx, where the pilots host the Maria Regina Tigers. Led by Liz Pugsley in her 3rd year as head coach, former pitcher and second baseman of Our Lady of Victory. And here is the way her team will stack up this afternoon. Leading off in center field will be Alyssa Casino. Batting second, the third baseman, number 14, Dana Fataruso. The second baseman, Maria Polino, bats third. In the cleanup spot, number 21, the shortstop, Jacqueline Marcello. Lindsey Tambarello, the first baseman. It's fifth, the sixth hitter, catcher Dana Carrane. And the DH, Danielle Carrane. It's seventh. In the eighth spot is Francesca Rush, the right fielder. And batting ninth in left is Jessica Libator. And they will be facing Tiffany Rondon. A perfect 5-0 on the season thus far this year. An ERA of 1.27 in 22 innings pitched for the Pilots. And correction, 4-0. Gave her 1 win too many. A little optimistic today. But then her defense behind her, very fine defense at the corners, will be Victoria Quinones at third, Laura McCaffrey at short, Monica Muffaletto at second, and Christine Quinones, the first baseman today. In the outfield, it'll be Julia Blazel in center with Kristen Carew in left, and Jo Marie Aquino in right, and behind the plate will be Malaya Lambert for the Cardinal Spellman Pirates. As you take a look at the defensive alignment, for the Pilots, who are an unbeaten 6-0 on the year, for head coach Dan Carrane, who has been at the school for 14 years now and doubles as the football coach as well. So he does football in the fall, softball in the spring.
My softball coach in high school was also the football coach.
Very nice. Keeps everybody busy.
Absolutely.
So we're set to go as Alyssa Casino steps into the box on a beautiful day in the Bronx. Sun peeking through, temperatures in the mid-60s. First pitch on the way, swung on and lifted into the air in left. Carew makes the catch, going back for the first out.
Yeah, Coach Carrane tells us that Lauren does a great job. Kristen does a really nice job of staying with the ball, and right there takes a couple drop steps back, played it perfectly for the first out of the game.
As we take another look, perhaps a little unsure, battling that sun that I just mentioned has started to peek through. But does a nice job of gathering it in for the first out, and that'll bring up Dana Fataruso, the junior third baseman, with 1 out. Pitch taken for a strike, 0-1.
You know, you mentioned the sun. Someone like Kristen Carew with a lot of speed, it would help her in left right now if she even took a couple steps back. She can make up the difference and sprint forward without having to lose the ball behind her.
0-1 to Fataruso. Swung on a miss for strike 2. Junior third baseman, described by our coach as a tremendous ball of energy, always smiling and helping others. Just a joy to coach and have on this team. Right now in an 0-2 hole. The delivery and taken outside for ball 1. Not a bad pitch to go with on 0-2. Tried to get Fataruso chasing right there, but to no avail.
Well, she's got 6 pitches in her repertoire, so we'll see her throw a lot of different things at these hitters today.
And tried to go right back there. Ball 2. Count even now at 2-2. Fataruso steps in. 3 straight balls, so nice job of Fataruso. Good eye. After falling behind 0-2, she works the count to 3-2. So Casino, first pitch swinging, flied out to left, and Fataruso now working with a full count against Rondon. And 4 straight balls, and Fataruso gets on with a walk.
Tiffany Rondon just has to shake that off. She was in and around those corners, just could not get it over the plate. And right now, she will face a tough one in Maria Polino.
So Maria Polino, the senior second baseman, steps to the plate. There is stealing, but you cannot lead until the pitch has left the pitcher's hand. Runner stays, throw back to first, and Fataruso gets back in safely. 1-0 on Polino.
Softball players will take it to the limit. You're not even going to barely see that ball leave the fingertips, and they take their step.
Once again, no leading, but you can release off the base after the pitcher's release. 1-0 offering, take it for strike 1. Maria Polino headed to the University of Bridgeport next season. Standout player at Maria Regina. Swung on and missed, strike 2, 1-2.
That was a really solid pitch from Rondon.
Looked like she took something off.
It did.
Came right out of her hands, looking like it was coming with some heat, and just a little touch off. 2-2 to Polino. On deck, Jacqueline Marcello, the shortstop.
At times, Tiffany will favor her curveball. She hits the corners very well.
But at 2-2, that outpitched that heater. See what she comes back with. Pitch swung on and fouled off, so the count holds at 2-2.
And that's Polino's MO. She is very aggressive at the plate. She will swing away whatever it takes. She can bunt lefty. She has a lot of different looks when she's there with the bat in her hands.
2-2 to Polino. Swung on and lifted in the air to center, and a diving catch by Julia Blazel for the second out.
Julia just happy to be back on the field. She missed her entire junior campaign with a knee injury. She was back at it on the basketball court this winter. And so she is really excited to be starting her first game after missing softball for a whole season. Right there, it just shows you the determination she has to be back here and playing center field.
Nice job keeping it in front of her. Even if she wasn't able to come up with it, there's still the opportunity that she could hold the runners to first and second had it fallen in. She did come up with a sliding catch for the second out of the inning, so now 2 out and 1 on for Jacqueline Marcello, the shortstop. 1-0 delivery, taken for ball 2. Malaya Lambert looked the runner back. Two 2-0 to Marcello. Pitch swung on, runner goes, throw down to second. Not in time as Federuso slides in easily with a stolen base.
Great base running by Federuso. The throw from home was there. They just could not get it down in time. Took a short hop. Good positioning though by Molfetto.
So 2-1, outside ball 3. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 out for Jacqueline Marcello. As a 3-1 count. Pitch from Rondon is lifted in the air. Victoria Quinones, the third baseman, is there and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So no runs, no hits, 1 left on base after a half inning of play. No score with Cardinal Spellman coming to bat.
Selling your car? Buying a car? Teach piano lessons? Need piano lessons? Dog just have puppies? Kids giving you puppy eyes? Looking to buy? Looking to sell? There's a new place for that. Introducing News 12 Classifieds on News12.com. A simple and easy way to find and add local postings. News 12 Classified on News12.com. As local as classifieds get.
Hi, I'm Ashley Battle at the New York Liberty, and at the age of 6, I was diagnosed with asthma. Well, that didn't stop me from pursuing my dreams of playing in the WNBA. And asthma shouldn't stop you from pursuing your dreams, but you need a game plan, so here's the start. Be a smart competitor, follow your doctor's treatment plan closely. Avoid triggers you know will make your asthma worse, and give yourself enough time to warm up. For more tips on taking the offensive against asthma, please visit breatheeasyplayhard.com.
Welcome back to Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx. A scoreless top half of the first, so the pilots of Cardinal Spellman coming to the plate for the first time for head coach Dan Carrane in his 14th year at Cardinal Spellman. As I mentioned, doubles as the football coach as well, but today it's all about softball, and let's take a look at his batting order. Leading off will be the left fielder Kristen Carew, followed by the captain Monica Muffaletto. Victoria Quinones hits 3rd, Malaya Lambert cleanup, Tiffany Rondon is 5th, and Julia Blazel hitting 6th, Olivia O'Farrell, the DH, hitting 7th, Christine Quinones in the 8th spot, and Laura McCaffrey rounds out the lineup today for the Cardinal Spellman pilots, and they'll be facing Irene Protopopoulos, who gave up 5 hits, only 2 earned runs in 5 innings of work her last time out. And again, this is a big rivalry between these two schools, always very fierce and competitive, and a lot of these girls play summer ball together, so always makes for an interesting affair here in the Bronx between these two schools. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment behind Protopopoulos. Carrane, the catcher. Tambarello at first, Polino at second, Jacqueline Marcello the shortstop, and Dana Federuso at third. Casino in center, Libator and Rush flank her in the outfield for the Tigers of Maria Regina. And there is a look at Eileen Protopopoulos. So Kristen Carew is off to an outstanding start this year, hitting .615, lead things off for Cardinal Spellman.
Well, the pilots coming in here with a record of 6-0. Maria Regina just 1-5, but don't let the records be indicative of this rivalry or the level of competition that the pilots are facing, even though they are undefeated. Every time these two teams step on the diamond together, there are usually fireworks. Well,
so far, well played top half of the first. No hits, just the walk to Fataruso, who was left stranded at second. As Carew calls for time as she gets comfortable on the plate. And the first pitch taken for ball one. As Carew showed bunt. Now she looks down to Dan Carrane for the signs. And steps back in. Fataruso playing in at third, guarding against that bunt. And the pitch taken inside for ball two. 2-0 to Kristen Carew. Third straight ball, so it's 3-0 on the junior center fielder. No relation to Rod Carew, who grew up in the Bronx. And 4 straight balls to Carew, a leadoff walk for the left fielder. So good start for the Pilots as Monica Muffaletto, the senior captain, comes to the plate, hitting just a shade below 300 on the season at 294. No homers, 5 RBI. She lays down the bunt, and the play is to first, and just does get Muffaletto on to third as Carew slides in safely. Good aggressive heads-up base running by Carew.
That was a great job by Kristen. Keeping her head down and just strolling through the bases. The play to first, you'll see the girl go out. It was a nice strike from first over to Irene Protopopis. But Kristen Carew just beating out the tag. Oof, it was close.
Both plays very close. We only have one umpire today, Anthony LaPietra, who's behind the plate. So maybe not the easiest of angles, but the tag on the knee, so perhaps that got the benefit of the doubt. And this one skied right back behind us. Foul by Victoria Quinones, who's a first honor student, averaged well into the 90s. And on the field, what a season so far. She's 13 of 16 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs.
Those are just incredible numbers for the sophomore.
Just a sophomore, as you mentioned. And this one lifted in the air to the gap in right center. That's going to score a run easily. Quinones on her way to second, and she'll slide in safely with a double.
Well, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, what a monster she is at the plate. She hits with such ease. She is just so comfortable facing a number of different pitches in there. Just knocking one between center and right, hitting the gap perfectly, and getting herself another ribby on the season.
Went with the pitch beautifully, and a lot of power the other way. Stands about only 5 feet tall, but she is perhaps the best power hitter on this team.
Oh, without a doubt she is.
Size can be deceiving. Generates a lot of power out of the lower half of her body.
You're absolutely right.
Here's Malaya Lambert with Quinones on second, inside for ball one. She's off to an outstanding start as well, over 500, and that one grounded to short. Up with it is Marcelo, on to first for the second out, and advancing to third is Quinones.
Smart base running by Quinones.
So 2 out, 1 in, and Quinones on third base for the pitcher, Tiffany Rondon. First pitch taken for a strike, and Carrane chases Quinones back to third. High 1-1 to the pitcher, Rondon. That nice sunshine we had to start things off. The sun has peeked behind a cloud. It's cooled down just a bit here.
A chilly day in the Bronx.
This one foul back behind us for strike 2. 1-2 on the pitcher, Tiffany Rondon. Like the Quinones sisters, just a sophomore. Gives Dan Carrane a lot of reason to be optimistic, not only this year, but in years to come. Let's take a look, just a slight breeze. And swing and a miss, strike 3. So that'll do it for the first. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 left on base. After the end of 1, the Pilots of Cardinal Spellman lead the Tigers of Maria Regina 1-0 on MSG Varsity.
Brooklyn has softball fever. As another showdown on the diamond heats up, catch the Grand Street Chiefs as they do battle with the James Madison Golden Knights. Who will take home the win? Find out right here on High School Sports Showcase. Only on MSG Varsity. Another Optimum exclusive.
High School Sports Showcase brings you the best of the best in all regions for MSG Varsity's All Sports Weekend. Saturday, check out the best of Connecticut, Westchester, Hudson Valley at 10 a.m. Long Island dominates at 12:30. At 3 p.m., don't miss the game of the week. Followed by Bronx, Brooklyn at 5:30. Finally, New Jersey shows its snub at 8 p.m. Sunday at 11 a.m., Bronx, Brooklyn kicks off the day. Followed by New Jersey at 1:30. At 4 p.m., Connecticut, Westchester, Hudson Valley is on the schedule, followed by the best in Long Island at 9 p.m. All the best games, all the regions, all sports weekend. Only on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive.
Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino with you from Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx. After one, the Pilots on top by a score of 1-0. Solid first inning for Tiffany Rondon. She walked one, but take a look at the full repertoire the sophomore has. Says she likes to rely on the fastball more than anything else. I think a lot of pitchers go to that bread and butter pitch as well, as Lindsey Tambarello steps in to start the second inning. And the first baseman looks at ball one. Tambarello, a National Honor student, the best power on the team, and homered in her last trip here to Cardinal Spellman. Liz Bugsley said she hopes she's got another one in her.
Yeah, she says she always keeps pushing herself.
McCaffrey over to first to retire Tambarello for the first out. So a hard hit ball, but right at McCaffrey, and she was able to get it on a clean hop and play it over to Quinones easily to retire Tambarello. So that'll bring up the catcher, sophomore Danielle Carrane. First offering taken high for ball one, 1-0. So Rondon has struggled with her control just a bit here early. A walk in the first, and she's run some deep counts. You see, she looks to the sky. That's in tribute to the memory of her grandfather who passed away recently, and she does that because she likes to acknowledge his memory and kind of gives her the feeling that he's with her and watching over her shoulder. Gives her a little more confidence as she delivers to the plate. Now 3-0. That pitch taken for a strike by Carrane.
Very sweet gesture in the memory of her grandfather, and just to exchange a couple of words before releasing the ball.
Foul back, full count now at 3-2 on the sophomore catcher. Liz Bugsley says has really come along as a hitter, especially in the clutch.
Yeah, she said she does not buckle under pressure.
On 3-2, gets a bat on that, but out the short. McCaffrey has trouble handling it, and Carrane reaches on the error.
Well, it took a weird hop in the infield, and McCaffrey just could not make the play cleanly. So a great job by Danielle Carrane to just keep fighting with a full count. Makes it to first. You'll see the hop.
Kind of caught her in a bit in between.
Yeah, she tried to barehand it and just got jammed up.
So Danielle Puglia, the designated hitter, now up for Maria Regina. 1 on, 1 out. In the top of the second, and the runner goes. The throw down from Lambert. Offline, and sliding in safely is Carrane. That's taking advantage of opportunity. The error by McCaffrey, and Carrane moves up on the stolen base.
Well, I thought that ball might have sailed through on the throw to second, but McCaffrey doing a nice job really lunging for it so that it didn't escape her. Fortunately, though, fortunately for Maria Regina, they get the player in.
1-1 to Puglia. 2 innings, 2 steals for Maria Regina. Perhaps that's something they came in looking to do against Malaya Lambert.
Well, right now, Cardinal Spellman just has to be very careful with the ball. They don't want to be careless. They need to look it into their gloves and into their hands.
Virginia, just a sophomore, has a very sweet stroke, according to Liz Pugsley. And that one taken for ball 3. So 3-1 to Pagea.
All right, let's go. You're full lead. Let's go.
Check that full count to Danielle Pagea. Dribbler in front of home plate, and that goes foul, so we'll do it all again.
Crane will head back to second. And Danielle Pagea will get another crack at it.
Dusts off the spikes. Gotta love it. You can see the field turf is down here at Spellman. The pitch on the way, and that one's sky to left field. Carew, though, has a beat on it and makes the catch for the second out, and holding at second is Carrane. So 2 down, but you can see the field turf here at Cardinal Spellman. Not only is the outfield all field turf, but the infield has the dirt-colored field turf, which I kind of like, keeps it consistent. So that is not actually dirt. The only dirt surfaces on the infield are the pitcher's mound and right at home plate.
That's right, so it will take a more true bounce than as if it were dirt.
Gotta love the technology in the 21st century.
We don't need dirt, we just need dirt color.
The left-hander Francesca Rush looks at ball 1. So 2 out, Carrane on second. Cardinal Spellman up 1-0 here in the Bronx. 1-0 delivery, taking high, ball 2. So after 18 pitches in the first, 17 here in the second for Tiffany Rondon. Runner goes, Carrane to throw, and over to third, and sliding in is Carrane. Quinones could not get the tag down.
I thought she was going to be out on that play.
Surprise going with 2 outs.
Absolutely. Well, Liz Pugsley, a former player herself, very competitive, very aggressive.
Just did get in.
Right in time.
Well, they say if you're going to steal third, you got to know you can make it. The 2-1 delivery, and take it high outside, 3-1. And the ball gets away. Here comes Carrane, the throw to the plate. She slides in safely, and we're tied at 1. So Danielle Carrane reaches safely on the error, and she's shaken up as she went into home plate. Not sure if it was the shoulder or the ankle, but she's down in some pain. Seems to be holding her shoulder.
Yeah, she's rubbing almost her tricep area. I mean, she just slid down hard, and then Malaya Lambert fell on top of her trying to get the ball. She's going to shake it off, I believe, but she's definitely going to have some pretty nasty burns.
Now she's pointing to her leg, not sure if it's a little raspberry or...
It definitely is.
But she gets up, took a second, but... She slides right in, that's
yeah.
where it was. Ball hit it, got her right in the shoulder. So she picks up a raspberry, a ball to the shoulder. A tough time, but nice job by Danielle Carrane to tie the game. As I said, she reached on the error, stole 2 bases, and with the ball getting away, scores the run to tie it up here at 1 in the top half of the second.
And that is a perfect reason why these helmets now have face masks on them.
Outstanding point.
31.
So Francesca Rush, 3-1 count, draws ball 4, and another walk. The second of the game for Tiffany Rondon, and a 2-out walk, so it'll bring up Jessica Libator. Strike 1 on Libator.
So far, the Cardinal-Spellman outfield has done very well when tested early in this game.
On the ground to third, Quinones, strong throw over to her sister, and that'll retire the side. But Cardinal-Spellman now comes to the bat with the game tied at 1. No runs, 1 run rather, no hits, 2 errors, 1 left on. We're tied at 1 in the middle of the second.
Hi, I'm Olympic gold medalist swimmer Cullen Jones. You probably saw me celebrating with my team after winning the freestyle relay in Beijing, but I didn't learn to swim to become an Olympic champion. I learned to swim because when I was 5 years old, I almost drowned. 9 people drown every day in the U.S., 3 of them children, but together we can change that. Drowning is preventable. Visit www.makeasplash.org and sponsor a swim lesson for a child today. Together we can stop the drowning.
High School Sports Desk is bringing you the most coverage in the tri-state area. With baseball and softball Tuesdays, where we check out the best action around the bases. Lacrosse takes the field on Thursdays, where we showcase the best games. And Friday is our track and field recap, as we bring you highlights from the top meets. All that and more on the High School Sports Desk, only on MSG Varsity.
Welcome back. MSG Varsity presents High School Sports Showcase. Today we're live in the Bronx. Cardinal-Spellman and Maria Regina. You know, as a catcher, Kara, you're used to contact, taking foul balls, but when you're running, you're not expecting getting hit in the shoulder by the ball.
No, you're certainly not. A raspberry on her leg, but taking a shot there in her right arm, her throwing arm. Fortunately for her, she got up quickly and is shaking it off as she's back out there ready to go here behind the plate.
Julia Blaisdell swings and misses at the first pitch and takes the second pitch. Ball 1, 1-1. That hurts when he gets it right in the corner of the shoulder.
Oh, it stings, absolutely.
No padding there.
And you normally don't expect to take a shot dead on in the arm as you're stealing home.
3-1. I remember playing a Little League game once. I looked at my father, I wanted to steal. He said no, I took off anyway. Throw hit me in the shoulder. I always listened to him after that.
I would too.
And a leadoff walk for Julia Blaisdell. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Olivia O'Farrell. So 1 on to start the bottom of the second. We're tied at 1. First pitch high for ball 1. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino at Cardinal-Spellman in the Bronx. Just a gorgeous athletic facility. Runner goes. Blaisdell hung up between first and second. Now she goes back, but the throw got through. She may have been able to take second base had she kept going, but she was about halfway and then put the brakes on and went back.
Yeah, I think she just got a little nervous, was unsure of the speed of the ball that was coming in. She was staring at the catcher. She wasn't staring at the throw. If she had, she would have seen that it was going through and she would have made it safely.
Well, Carrane has a terrific arm, very accurate, very strong arm behind the plate. Perhaps a little intimidated. A 2-0 pitch, make that 3-0 pitch, and the second walk, back-to-back walks, put 2 men on for Cardinal-Spellman. And that'll bring up Christine Quinones.
They call her Sissy.
And the bunt attempt, and it goes foul for strike 1.
And Christine's sister, Victoria, is nicknamed Quinny. So lots of nicknames going around this Pilots team.
It's interesting to watch batting practice and infield practice before the game. Dan Crane likes to give his team some jabs every so often. Quinones, as compared to her sister, a very good contact hitter, maybe not as much power, but puts the bat on the ball and does so there. Singles to left, and in is going to come Blaisdell to give Cardinal-Spellman the lead, and Quinones goes into second with a stand-up double. Could go as a single and an error on the left fielder, Libator.
She's grabbing her chin out and left. I think when that ball took a bounce off of the field, it knocked her in her face. You'll see it right here. She just goes right into her mouth. It was a strong, solid swing. Used her bottom half really well. Followed through. Was able to bring a run in.
That ball just came up on her. Took a big hop. I don't think she was expecting quite that big a hop. Allows Blaisdell to score. And second and third right now for McCaffrey. As O'Farrell kind of came running down the line, trying to draw a throw back. And Libator okay after taking one in the lip. And that one lands into center field for a base hit. In comes O'Farrell to second. McCaffrey. Quinones hustles in, and that's now 3-1 Spellman in front.
That is a huge hit by Lauren McCaffrey, the shortstop. She was the best player on JV last year and has now come in and made a huge impact in her junior season. She reached for that one and gave it all the muscle she had, making it all the way to second, bringing in 2.
Pitch gets away, and McCaffrey heads to third. Check that, Quinones came in with the 4th run of the game, so 3rd in the inning after 1 in the first. Spellman coming back with 3 here in the second. Still nobody out. Swing and a miss by Carew.
There's a pretty change up there by Protopopis.
1 and 2 to Kristen Carew. Walk the first time up. Infield playing at normal depth with 2 out. This one lifted in the air. Carrane right behind the plate makes the catch to retire Carew. 1 down. Monica Muffaletto stepping to the plate for the 2nd time today after rounding the 3rd baseman, first time up. Takes a strike. Swung on, and a nice play by Marcello to come up with it, but the throw goes wide, and another run will score as McCaffrey comes home, and into second is Muffaletto. 5-1 Cardinal Spellman.
Well, with only 1 out and the way that they have been cracking at the ball, the Pilots put themselves in some pretty fantastic positions right now in the 2nd inning. She dug deep for that one and just got a great lift. Throwing it in between here, the shortstop and the 3rd baseman. That throw from the shortstop just a little bit too high from Jacqueline Marcello. And we see Lauren McCaffrey come on in.
It's going to be called a single with an error on the shortstop, allowing her to get to second base. And this one fouled out of play by Victoria Quinones. 1-1 to the sophomore 3rd baseman.
Right now for the Tigers, they just have to take a deep breath, get their gloves down quickly, talk to one another, and Protopopis really has to find it over the plate.
And that one stroked to left field. Coming around is Muffaletto to score the 6th run, and standing at second with another double is Victoria Quinones, her 2nd of the day.
It's just a great swing, all power from the waist down.
Quick hands to get the bat head out in front.
An even quicker switch of the feet right as contact is made. And you have to wonder how Libator is feeling out there in left field. Just a couple of plays ago, she got hit in the mouth. And right there, just letting a seemingly easy one go through her legs.
Leah Lambert now looking at an 0-2 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. And she looks at strike 3 for the 2nd out of the inning.
Tigers needed that one. Good job by Protopopis.
Tiffany Rondon steps to the plate with a 5-run lead. Is a great pitch on the outside corner.
Dropped just ever so slightly at the very end, eluding Malaya Lambert.
And that one line, Libator has a beat on it, goes off her glove, and it gets by her. In to score comes Quinones. Rondon rounding second, on her way to third. She's being waved around the floor to the plate, and she'll score easily.
And joy over in the Cardinal Spellman dugout. Tiffany Rondon, the pitcher, clearing.
So after the error, Rondon comes around. 2 more for Cardinal Spellman. They lead by a score of 9-1. And a huddle at the mound trying to calm things down for Irene Protopopis, who's really struggled here in the second. Hasn't had much help defensively, in all fairness. But a tough inning for Libator. Great swing by Rondon. Hit that one on the line.
These girls know how to smack it. That is just what should be a textbook catch out in left field. Just skips over the top of the glove. But they're hitting it to left, so Libator's got to be ready here. And all she needs is to make 1 out, get a little bit of confidence, and get out of this inning.
Blaisdell at the plate for the second time today after a walk to lead off this inning. So the Pilots have batted around here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second and an 8-run lead. And that one high, 1-1. 32 pitches in this inning for Irene Protopopis. Foul back for strike 2, 1-2 on the center fielder.
Rare you see a player pull it to right like that.
Blaisdell not only starring on the field, but also in the classroom, headed to Fordham on an academic scholarship, and she works out a walk for the second time this inning.
And this is her first game starting, as we mentioned. Cardinal Spellman with a 2-week Easter break, so there were many of these girls that were out with their families and were not playing this whole time.
Blaisdell goes, and she slides in safely with a stolen base. So even though they're up 8 runs right now with 2 outs, the Pilots trying to add to that lead.
Oh, they're going for it because they know in a rivalry game like this, no lead is safe.
Pitch high, 2-0. Rich Ackerman and Tara Petrolino from Cardinal Spellman High School in the Bronx. And the 0-2 swing and a miss by O'Farrell. 2-1. Check that on O'Farrell. And take it for strike 2. 2-2.
I want to talk a little numbers for O'Farrell. She has a 97 average in school.
And looked at it, strike 3, so that'll end the inning. And a big inning it was for Cardinal Spellman. 8 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors. And the Pilots of Cardinal Spellman on top, 9-1.
Good morning, madam. This is your wake-up call. It's 7 o'clock. Cheerios.
Oh, top of the morning to ya. It's 7:02.
Good morning, lassie. Time for you to wake up.
I would advise you to wake up. The time is 9.
Rise and shine, mate.
Talk the talk with Optimum Voice World Call. Call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the world for just $19.95 more a month. Crystal clear sound with no cards and no codes. Just pick up your phone and talk.
Get up, stand up, man, you know.
Want to get more out of MSG Varsity and make yourself heard? Become a fan on Facebook. Share our regular updates on games, shows.
Are you ready for the challenge?
And special events. Stay connected to what's on air and online. MSG Varsity, now on Facebook. Facebook.com/MSGVarsity.bx.bk.
Quinones, who is doubled twice in back-to-back innings. Part of this onslaught for Cardinal Spellman, which leads by a score of 8-1. Want to correct our score? We gave them one too many. It is 8-1 as we begin the top half of the third inning. And again, just to clarify too, there is a mercy rule. It is an 8-run cushion, but the team that is losing has to bat at least 5 times. So right now, Maria Regina coming up to start the top of the third, trying to cut into that deficit. They trail by 7 as we start the top half of the third. And Alyssa Casino, the leadoff hitter, starts things off here in the third inning against Tiffany Rondon, who struggled at times but given up just one run and now has an 8-1 lead to work with. This one looped into left field, just out of the reach of McCaffrey, and Casino rounds first, but she'll stay there with a leadoff single. Smartly done, down 7 runs. Right now, Maria Regina needs all the base runners they can get.
Well, McCaffrey got a good jump on that ball, just could not grab it, bring it down, tipped off the front of her mitt.
Dana Fanaruso, who walked the first time up, gets down the bunt, fielded by Christine Quinones. The play to first for the out, and moving on to second is Casino. Nicely done by the junior third baseman there. So the play goes 3-4 to retire Fanaruso, and 1 out with Maria Polino stepping to the plate. Ball 1, big lead off second for Casino, but she heads back to the bag. So Polino 0 for 1, flying out in the first. Trying to knock in a run right here, but she lifts this one right to the pitcher's mound, and Rondon snags it for the second out. So nowhere Fanaruso can go, with that one traveling about 40 feet.
And there was no denying that Rondon had that screamed loud enough for all of her infielders to hear that she had it. That's the kind of talking that you need to do on the infield and all over the field, actually. But a great job by Rondon to let her girls know that she had it.
So it's up to Marcello to get in Casino. She looks at strike 1. 2 out here in the top of the third. Cardinal Spellman in front of Maria Regina by a score of 8-1. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino with you today in the Bronx. The 0-1 offering, high and outside for ball 1, 1-1. This one off the end of the bat, right at first base. Christine Quinones snags it for the third out of the inning. So after the leadoff single, Fanaruso moves over Casino, but 1, 2, 3 in order, and we head to the bottom of the third.
This ain't a city of what ifs, maybes, or couldas. You don't just live here, you make a statement. This is a city of expectations. 8 million critics urging you to step up or shut up. And in this city, there is one game, one house, one team, one truth. If you're in this city, you are all in. So the question is, are you in?
Think you've got all the answers? Think you've got what it takes? Then think fast and get ready to take the challenge.
I'm Jared Cotter, and on the next episode of The Challenge, Mount Vernon matches wits with Oceanside High School for an intellectual free-for-all. Don't miss a half hour of the most exciting knowledge ever dropped.
Take the challenge on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive.
Welcome back to Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino with the Pilots comfortably in front. Part thanks to Tiffany Rondon, who's done it at the plate, on the mound, and also defensively today. After giving up a leadoff single, retire the next three.
Just hear her rather, not even looking at her taking that one down, but you just hear her screaming mine, letting everyone know that she was going to pull that one down for the out.
As you said, there was no question about who was getting that one.
No, definitely not. Anyone neared that circle on her team behind her.
Christine Quinones, who snagged the final out of the inning, leads off here for Cardinal Spellman and puts one into left field for her second hit of the day. Big turn at first base, but Libitor able to get it back in to hold Quinones to a single.
Well done by Jessica Libitor there. She struggled in the second inning, but right there, the ball does drop, but she did a good job of keeping it in front of her.
So a leadoff single for Quinones. The punt play on, Quinones takes a big lead, chased back to first.
Well, Cardinal Spellman likes being aggressive, but they definitely want to be careful here and not get too much of a lead because Carrane will throw them out at first.
Laura McCaffrey, another big lead to throw back to first, but head first slide by Quinones to get in safely.
Head first slide. Great job with the right arm.
That one fouled right next to our broadcast booth, right behind the plate. Gets through the netting somehow. Don't worry, Tara.
I know you were right there. I know. You had your mitt already.
And McCaffrey lifts one to short, and right there is Marcelo to record the first down of the inning. So one out, one on. And stepping to the plate for Cardinal Spellman is Kristen Carew, the leadoff hitter. Who walked the first time up and fouled out to the catcher in the second.
Kristen with a 97 average in school.
Gets the bunt down nicely. The pitcher Protopopoulos plays it on to first for the out. And now they got Quinones hung up between second and third. And the play to third base, and Quinones is tagged out. So very quiet inning for Cardinal Spellman after that 7-run explosion in the second. They don't come up with anything as Quinones runs the Pilots out of the inning, caught up in the rundown. So we head to the fourth inning. Cardinal Spellman, though, still up comfortably by 7.
Brooklyn has softball fever as another showdown on the diamond heats up. Catch the Grand Street Chiefs as they do battle with the James Madison Golden Knights. Who will take home the win? Find out right here on High School Sports Showcase, only on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive.
Want to get more out of MSG Varsity and make yourself heard? Become a fan on Facebook. Share our regular updates on games, shows.
Are you ready for the challenge?
And special events. Stay connected to what's on air and online. MSG Varsity, now on Facebook. Facebook.com/MSGVarsity.bx.bk.
You better be careful when you make some lofty claims that you can hit a 55-foot shot like Newburgh Free Academy's Will Bell. Mike Quick claims he can make a 55-footer in 5 tries. Here's the big lefty. Oh, there's one off the eye. Look out. Here's the second. Got a chance. Oh, oh no.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth here at Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx, with the Pilots up by a score of 8-1. Mike Quick knows everything about high school sports, and he's taking your calls live at a quick 60. Call in live at 516-224-6100. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on MSG Varsity. So right here, Cardinal Spellman comfortably in front, but the only concern right now, Tiffany Rondon with 48 pitches through the first 3 innings. Will she run out of gas? She does have a very comfortable lead. The Pilots up by 7 as Lindsey Tambarello steps in to start the fourth.
And she's throwing good pitches right now. She's a sophomore, but she has a whole year of starting under her belt as a freshman, and right now undefeated on this season, looking to keep it that way.
4-0 as the pitch outside. The first baseman, Lindsey Tambarello, a National Honor Student, tremendous power, as we mentioned, homered here at Cardinal Spellman a year ago.
Also the Relay for Life captain.
This one lifted in the air behind second as Muffaletto makes the catch for out number 1 here in the fourth.
Muffaletto, mainly a volleyball player, but she does play some summer softball. She's just a hard worker and has really impressed her coach early on this season.
So here's Danielle Carrane, who scored the only run of the day for Maria Regina. She got reached on an error, stole 2 bases, and came home on an overthrow back to the mound, and then took the throw in the shoulder. Takes that pitch for a ball, 1-1. The sophomore catcher.
Both Quinones sisters in fairly deep at the corners.
And this one lined right back up the middle for a base hit for Danielle Carrane. Blaisdell plays it back in. A 1-out single for the sophomore catcher.
Danielle Carrane, just an all-around solid player. She's made gutsy moves all game. She's getting it done at the plate with her base running, and of course, behind the plate at catcher. We'll see her swing here. She kind of chops it, but gets just enough on it to drop right in front of Blaisdell.
So Danielle Padilla now at the plate, the designated hitter. She flies to left for first time up. Right now with 1 on, the same situation she faced the last time up. Trying to get something going here in the top half of the fourth. And this one, she kicks the other way, giving chase to the right fielder, Andino, but she's not going to get there. On her way to second is Puglia with a double, and the throw comes late, and Carrane thrown out at the plate, and she looks shaken up again. And doubled up at third. Puglia was trying to stretch that, and a double play will bring the inning to an end.
An absolutely huge inning there for Cardinal Spellman, but you have to wonder how Danielle Carrane is feeling after that collision at home plate. The second one of the game for her, this one looking even uglier than the first.
Looks like she tripped coming in, and she got her feet tangled up and gets tagged out, and then Puglia tries to stretch it, but to no avail. It goes 9-4-1-2-5, a double play to end the inning, and Cardinal Spellman coming to the plate in the bottom half of the fourth, up by 7.
Hey, that's me. Did you know you can learn all about Optimum's great products and services just by watching me? Just go to Explore Optimum on IOTV's main menu, or visit Optimum.net. Learn how to program your IO remote, use the latest security tools from Optimum Online, or discover Optimum Wi-Fi, and even get the most out of your calling features from Optimum Voice. So come learn all there is to know and explore Optimum. I'll see you there.
Join us tonight at 10 on a high school sports desk.
It's Track and Field Friday.
To be in the same sentence as Carl Lewis is something unbelievable. You know, he's just always been an idol of mine, especially in track and field.
Plus, the Medgar Evers girls relay team headlines our Inside Track segment.
Lindenhurst and Connecticut wrap up their series on the Long Island Baseball Diamond.
And Section 1 lax rivals John Jay Cross River and Somers do battle.
We'll see you at 10 on the desk.
Welcome back to Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx, where the Pilots hold an 8-1 lead as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and trying to make something happen. Perhaps a little too aggressive was Maria Regina, and Liz Pugsley speaking with her team about the base running miscues that ended the top half of the fourth. Lindsey Tambarello back out at first base, but when you're down 7, you had a runner on with 1 out. And both snuffed up to end the inning with the unconventional 9-4-1-2-5 double play. I'm sure you've seen a lot of those in your day, Tara.
Absolutely. I can count them on one finger.
I think that's a first for me in all my years of watching baseball/softball.
The guts, though, that sophomore catcher for Maria Regina, Danielle Carrane, is showing right now is pretty impressive. She has been knocked around on her base running. This game has taken a few good hits from Malaya Lambert, obviously unintentional, just part of the game, but she has been definitely hurting at various spots. But she's out here yet again, just fighting and clawing her way for her team.
So Monica Muffaletto leads off the bottom of the fourth for Cardinal Spellman. She's 0 for 2 today. Rounding to third, a first time up, and then reaching on an error the second time up. And this one fouled out of play. Onto the street, onto 232nd Street here in the Bronx.
Escaping a driver by.
So far we've lucked out, no broken windows.
We haven't heard any clanks or clunks. I'm glad my car is parked way back behind right field.
Let's send the bill to our coordinating producer, Steve Danz. He'll be happy to pay it. That's D-A-N-Z. And it's S-T-E-V-E-N. Not a P-H. V. Care of MSG Varsity. Sure we'll put in on the travel and expense report. That one fouled out of play again. Also on to 232nd Street.
They'll take any comments and suggestions you have as well.
As Muffaletto steps back in. This one grounded to second. Polino is there and throws on to Tambarello for the first out of the inning. They score that 4-3. And Tara, I know you give us all access to all things high school on the next High School Journal, our weekly news magazine. Catch High School Journal Tuesdays at 6. Only on MSG Varsity. Want to give us a little preview? Or you want to keep us?
We're out on the road. So right now we are headed to Academy of Mount St. Ursula, nearby in the Bedford Park section of the Bronx. Every week now on the Journal, we will be at a new school. Who knows, maybe the next could be yours.
Thank you for that little preview. I thought you may want to keep us in suspense, get us to tune in, a little tease, but
well, you have to tune in for all the fantastic stories. That I'm not teasing.
See, now it just gives us more reason to tune in.
There you go.
So here's Victoria Quinones with back-to-back doubles in the first and the second. And this one lifted into the air in center. Casino is there and makes the catch. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino, as we just did the promo for her show. The star of MSG Varsity here in the Bronx today at a great game. So you can see us right in the thick of things, right behind the plate. Anthony LaPietra is the home plate umpire, getting in Tara's way. I'm gonna have to yell at Anthony to step aside so we can get Tara in the shot.
Killing my
here.
camera time here.
Psst, Anthony, one step to our left. This one fouled out of play. On in the street. Now this field at Cardinal Spellman, which holds softball, lacrosse, the men's baseball team, and also football in the fall, is a great complex. And this at one point was a lower bowl, but it has since been redone several years ago. And when it was redone and the field turf put down, it was raised. I don't know how they did it, but they did it very, very well. This one lifted by Lambert into left. Livertor going back and makes the catch. On the run, terrific play by Jessica Libator to bring the inning to an end. So for the first time today, the Pilots of Spelman go 1-2-3, and after 4 innings of play, the Pilots on top of Maria Regina by a score of 8-1 on MSG Varsity.
All right, let's go, let's go, let's go.
No drama on TV comes close to the stark reality of pancreatic cancer. With a 4% survival rate, it's the most lethal cancer there is. That's exactly why the Lustgarten Foundation is dedicated to advancing the fight against this deadly disease. And Cablevision's support of the Lustgarten Foundation ensures that 100% of every donation goes to pancreatic cancer research. Join the fight. Visit curepc.org.
Hi, I'm Drew Thompson. On March 25th, 2000, I lost my best friend Louis Acampora on the lacrosse field. Louis passed away of sudden cardiac arrest. Had a defibrillator been there on the field that day, Louis would still be with us today. Please visit la12.org to find out more about placing AEDs in your schools and on the playing fields. Thank you.
Welcome back. Top of the 5th. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino at Cardinal Spellman with the Pirates in front by a score of 8-1 as we begin the top of the 5th. And a very crucial time for Maria Regina because we have the 8-run rule, mercy rule, staring right at us because the team that's behind has to bat at least 5 times. So at this point, Maria Regina really needs to get something going. They scored a run back in the 2nd when Danielle Carrane reached base on an error, stole 2nd and 3rd, and then came home on the overthrow back to the pitcher's mound. But that's been the only run in the game back in the 2nd inning for the Tigers of Maria Regina. And Francesca Rush leads off top of the 5th with her team down by 7 runs. And she looks at strike 1.
Francesca, also the captain of the Maria Regina soccer team, member of National Honor Society and the New York State Science Honor Society. Very involved over at Maria Regina, not only out on the fields, but in the clubs and in the classrooms.
This one right back to the box, and the play on to first. Quinones steps on the bag for out number 1 here in the 5th. And I talked about this facility and how large it is and how many teams it holds. As you can see right behind the softball field, there's the boys baseball team working out, practicing their cutoff throws.
Some checking out the girls' games, though.
And when there's a game to be had, there's always people watching.
That's right.
People lined up outside the outfield fence, some bleachers behind the right field fence as well. Tiffany Rondon has had a solid day thus far, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, allowing only an unearned run back in the 2nd. Pitch taken for a strike. Jessica Libator, who scored the final out of the 4th, here with 1 out in the 5th. And she looks at strike 3, so 2 outs now in the top half of the 5th. So that'll bring up Alyssa Casino with 2 outs in the 5th, and we mentioned the Tigers need some runs because they're down by 7 here in the 5th. And the next run, should they not score a run, would end this game for Cardinal Spellman. One 1-0 to Casino, who singled back in the 3rd. Grounded right to Quinones, who has trouble handling. Strong throw and just does get Casino. So the Tigers of Maria Regina go up 1-2-3 in the 5th. And we head to the bottom of the inning as Quinones does a great job staying with it. The strong throw onto her sister Christine. And the 7-run lead intact after 4 1/2.
Hi, I'm Ashley Battle of the New York Liberty, and at the age of 6 I was diagnosed with asthma. Well, that didn't stop me from pursuing my dreams of playing in the WNBA. And Asthma shouldn't stop you from pursuing your dream, but you need a game plan, so here's the start. Be a smart competitor. Follow your doctor's treatment plan closely. Avoid triggers you know will make your asthma worse, and give yourself enough time to warm up. For more tips on taking the offensive against asthma, please visit breatheeasyplayhard.com.
Your school, your stories, your place to find it all at MSGVarsity.com. The high school experience is as close as the click of a mouse. With our high school pages, your school has a unique home where you can check up on sports, activities, and special events. It's a fast and easy way to connect you to what's happening in your school. With MSG Varsity's high school pages, you are the ultimate insider. Only at MSGVarsity.com.
Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino back at Cardinal Spellman. Not much margin for error here in the bottom half of the fifth for the Tigers and Maria Regina, who trail by a score of 8-1. The 8-run mercy rule in effect now because the Tigers have hit at least 5 times. So the next run, should there be one in this inning for Cardinal Spellman, would end this game as time is called. Somehow an extra ball got onto the field. So with the ball cleared, we're ready to go here to start the bottom half of the fifth inning. And Tiffany Rondon 0 for 2 today. Lifts that one in the air. And Polino gathers it in for the first out. One down here in the bottom of the fifth. Rich Ackerman, Tara Petrolino with you from Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx. A 7-run second by Cardinal Spellman opened this thing up, and we haven't had a run since. But right now, the Pilots trying to put this one away here with a 7-run lead in the fifth.
Hey, you know what? My old coach used to say, if you can kiss it, you can't hit it. And Julia, you could have kissed that one, so you got to lay off.
That one came up and in on her, that's for sure. Julia Blaisdell did a great job today in center field. Lays down a bunt, trying to get them off guard, but Pappas picks it up and throws on to Polino for the second out of the inning.
It was a pretty bunt. It only dribbled a couple of inches in front of her, but Irene Protopappas was right there on top of it. Charged the ball, made a nice play to first.
Farrell comes to the plate with 2 outs and promptly swings the first pitch. Calling for it is Fanarusso, records the 3rd out. So 3 up, 3 down in the fifth. We move on to the 6th with Cardinal Spellman on top of Maria Regina, 8-1 on MSG Varsity.
Brooklyn has softball fever. As another showdown on the diamond heats up, catch the Grand Street Chiefs as they do battle with the James Madison Golden Knights. Who will take home the win? Find out right here on High School Sports Showcase, only on MSG Varsity. Another Optimum exclusive.
High School Sports Showcase brings you the best of the best in all regions for MSG Varsity's All Sports Weekend. Saturday, check out the best of Connecticut, Westchester, Hudson Valley at 10 a.m. Long Island dominates at 12:30. At 3 p.m., don't miss the game of the week. Followed by Bronx, Brooklyn at 5:30. Finally, New Jersey shows its snub at 8 p.m. Sunday at 11 a.m., Bronx, Brooklyn kicks off the day. Followed by New Jersey at 1:30. At 4 p.m., Connecticut, Westchester, Hudson Valley is on the schedule, followed by the best in Long Island at 9 p.m. All the best games, all the regions, all sports weekend. Only on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive.
Tiffany Rondon and Malaya Lambert talking things over, getting their signals intact, but not much has gone wrong between the two today. So far, good communication and a solid day for Rondon on the mound as the Pilots of Cardinal Spellman lead Maria Regina by a score of 8-1 as we go to the top of the 6th. As we take a look at the honorary Sonia Sotomayor, Supreme Court Justice. Prize alum of Cardinal Spellman, class of 1972, and coming back to the school. What a sight, and what an appearance that must have been. What a thrill for all the kids involved.
Yeah, well, I learned from the first day.
Just a great joy for all the students here. Young, aspiring, perhaps justices, perhaps doctors, lawyers. A great educational institution, a gem here in the Bronx, and all these girls working so hard, not only out on the field, but in the classrooms as well. Sotomayor is such a great example of that type of hard work and dedication.
Fataruso steps in to lead off the sixth and takes the first pitch for ball one. He walked and grounded to the pitcher. So 1 for 2 today. I should say 0 for 1. This one lifted in the air to center. Blaisdell is there to retire Fataruso for the first out of the sixth.
Julia Blaisdell's done a really nice job in center field today, right there. Just textbook, getting her right hand behind her glove hand, taking a few steps back and staying underneath the ball the whole time.
Maria Polino has flied to center and popped to the pitcher, and her 2 times up today, 0 for 2. And fouls out the first pitch. So an 0-1 count on the senior second baseman.
There you go.
Maria was also a captain on the basketball team this past season. Just a true leader. Coach Liz Pugsley, who we just saw, has been thrilled to coach.
This one on the ground at third. Quinones up with it on to first for the second out of the sixth.
She is just tremendous at third, and you just look at the kind of arm she has. It's exceptional, and you know she could play anywhere in the infield, but from third, just a cannon for an arm.
Converted catcher, but Dan Crane likes her at third base because of the slow roller you just saw. Plays against the bunt. Probably could play shortstop as well, but again, he likes her on the corner, and you just saw the arm.
And her sister, Christine, they call her Sissy, handling anything that Victoria throws at her. You could just see that sisterly chemistry at the corners on the infield here.
This one fouled back behind us. How many catchers have you seen in the major leagues eventually move over to third base?
That's right.
Joe Torre, Johnny Bench later in his career. Todd Zeal was another. All have great arms and such an instinctive position. Quinones is doing a great job today. Pitch on the way, taken high by Marcelo.
What's been so impressive and indicative of her arm strength is how at times she's bobbled a couple, but has been able to grab it and catch up with the runner almost immediately.
1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and sky in the air to left. Carew's got a beat on it, but no, lets it drop it in front of her. Wasn't sure if there was some miscommunication there between Carew and McCaffrey, but somehow that one dropped in. Looked like Carew was ready to grab it for the third out.
Well, Carew had a great eye on it, and even if McCaffrey was coming back, she should have called her off. She was just right there and stopped short.
Still early in the season, perhaps afraid of the collision, a little miscommunication, but that should have been Carew's ball all the way.
Without a doubt.
So Lindsey Tambarello comes in with 2 outs and 1 on, lifts that one to center, but Blaisdell's got a beat on it, but drops it. Going to third is Marcelo, sliding in safely. Tambarello goes to second standing, and second and third with 2 outs. So after recording the first 2 outs of the inning easily, Marcelo singles to left after Carew lets it go in, and Blaisdell just dropped that one.
And we've seen Blaisdell catch one falling to her knees earlier in the game, but that one she just could not make the play. A good heads-up play by Quinones at third, not throwing to second with the girl running because they had a girl right here on third. And she was no doubt, Jacqueline Marcelo was definitely going to be running for home if that throw went to second.
Goes as an error on the center fielder, Tambarello. Now second and third with 2 outs for Danielle Carrane. 8-1, Cardinal Spellman in front. An unearned run scoring in the second. Carrane scoring that run after reaching on an error, stealing a couple of bases, and scoring on an error on the throw back to the pitcher. here trying to get the Tigers back into it. That one high and outside. 2-1 to the catcher. 8-1, top of the sixth. Spellman in front. That one low. 3-1.
Well, Rondon just has to get something over the plate that Carrane can make contact with and leave it to her defense to make a play and get out of this inning.
Taken for a strike. Count is full at 3-2. And ball 4 on Carrane, so that'll load the bases here in the top half of the sixth. Coming to the plate is Danielle Carrane.
Malaya Lambert calls time. She's going to head to the circle, and the defense will follow. They want to talk it over with their pitcher, Tiffany Rondon, settle her down. Bases loaded now with Danielle Carrane coming to the plate. She's only one of 2 sophomores on this team, but her bat has enormous power, and they do not want to see any slip through the cracks here, making this game way more interesting than it has been since the second inning.
Marcello on third after reaching on the 2-out single. Tambarello on the error by Blazel in center on second, and now Carrane after the 2-out walk on first, and another ball to Carrane. So Rondon struggling with her control here in the sixth. Still 2 out. No runs in. And a little decoy play, but the throw over the head of McCaffrey and in to score is Marcello with the second run of the game for Maria Regina. So an interesting idea as Quinones comes in and Lambert's throw goes over her head, but it's supposed to be to the shortstop McCaffrey.
It went over McCaffrey's head as well.
Overthrew both on that one. Trying to get out of the inning there, but to no avail. The trickery comes back to haunt Cardinal Spellman as the second run comes across.
Yeah, don't change the game plan. What Cardinal Spellman has been doing all game has been working. You don't want to start throwing in some trick plays right now, especially on the defensive end. You need to just play a solid game right now with the bases loaded. That's just not smart softball.
And the second straight walk, this time to Carrane, loads the bases once again. So Carrane on first. Tambarello moves over to third and Carrane on second. And after the walk to Carrane, bases loaded for Francesca Rush. Outside ball 1. Was close, right off the corner. Perhaps a little low. 8-2 here in the top of the sixth. Cardinal Spellman in front. Rondon recorded the first 2 outs of the inning, but has struggled since and losing her control right now. That one high ball 2.
She's got to stay mentally focused and tough here right now in the circle. Her pitches are a little bit all over the place. Coach Dan Crane just telling her, just settle down and relax. Throw your strikes like you know how.
That one taken for strike 1. Throw over to third, got away from Quinones, but McCaffrey right there to back up.
In the same hand, Lambert has got to get her throws down. She's going to challenge at third. She's got to give Quinones or McCaffrey something that they can catch.
And this one gets away from the catcher, Lambert, and into the dugout, so a run's going to come home on the error. Tambarello will score, and it's now 8-3, and the runners move up another base. So now second and third with 2 outs, and 2 runs in here in the sixth.
Well, just took a weird top and trickled into the Maria Regina dugout. A lucky break for the Tigers, unfortunate for the Pilots as Malaya Lambert was running to catch up with the ball.
So the deficit now reduced to 5, 8-3. Still 2 out here in the top half of the sixth. It's been a long inning, and 2-2 to Francesca Rush. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but that'll end the inning. A long inning Much longer than it needed to be for Cardinal Spellman comes to an end, but some life for Maria Regina, which slices the lead of Cardinal Spellman down to 5. 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left on. 8-3, middle of the 6th.
Your school, your stories, your place to find it all. MSGVarsity.com. With game highlights, scores, events, clubs, and featured content from TV, MSGVarsity.com is the place for everything going on in your high school community. Explore it all. Learn about what's going on in your school at MSGVarsity.com. You are the ultimate insider. Online and on IOTV channel 14 and 614.
In today's challenging economic environment, isn't it great that IOTV now offers even more new HD channels, all free?
Well, let's call it a financial bailout for the people.
Let's call it an entertainment bailout for the masses.
Let's call it a high-definition bailout for everyone.
Do we have to clear this with Washington?
Breaking news!
Incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best HD experience free from IOTV at any PC Richard & Son store.
For the latest news in high school sports, Jared Greenberg and Shauna Ryan give you all the coverage on High School Sports Desk. High School Sports Desk weeknights at 7 p.m. only on MSG Varsity. Irene Protopopoulos has retired 8 in a row, and some life for Maria Regina after 2 runs in the top half of the 6th, make it 8-3 as we get set to start the bottom half of the inning. Christine Quinones looks at the first pitch for ball 1. Rips that one to left field for a single. And makes the big turn and will stop at first.
Great story about Christine and Victoria Quinones. They came in here as cheerleaders, and the Cardinal Spellman cheering program has had a couple of down years, and they decided to give their hand and their feet at another sport, so they came out as soccer players as well. But they are cheerleaders at heart. Proven just as effective here on the softball diamond today.
I have to say, if they're as good as they are at cheering as they are at softball, they must be able to bellow out a couple of good cheers. McCaffrey shows bunt and fouls it off. Be 1-1. Spellman got 1 in the first, 7 in the second, has not scored since. This one fouled back out of play. 1-2 on McCaffrey. Maria Regina run early and was staring at a mercy loss, but coming back with 2 in the top half of the 6th and some life.
Coach Crane making his first MSG Varsity appearance. Of course, Cardinal Spellman, no strangers to MSG Varsity, but as the football coach, when we had Spellman and Hayes on in the fall, Coach was giving his daughter Danielle away as it was her wedding day, so he was really excited to be on board here this go around this spring.
And I think he was better off at his daughter's wedding, not only for family purposes, but it was a rough day for the pilots on the field. And
yes,
this one, McCaffrey skies to left, and right there is Liberatore to make the out.
And I like the fight that Liberatore has shown in the latter half, the last couple of innings. She had a rough second inning. A lot of balls got by her. She got hit in the mouth with one. She's made a couple of really nice plays in left field. Just keep fighting. You can't give up. You're going to make mistakes. It's how you capitalize after you make them on the opportunities that are given to you.
So here's Kristen Carew as the top of the order up. With 1 out and runner on second here in the bottom of the 6th. And this one turns on top of it and foul ball as Fanaruso picks it up just outside the line.
That one definitely walked the tightrope.
I don't know if Fanaruso was trying to make a play on that, but she certainly got lucky, because if she was, it was going to be a very, very tough throw. Carew got out of the box very, very quickly.
Well, she is quick, but you're right. She got out of the box nicely.
Swing and a miss by Carew, strike 2. 0-2 on Kristen Carew with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. This one lined off the glove of Fataruso, and it goes in the left field, but Quinones was retreating to second base, so she'll stay right there. Not sure if she did not see the ball get through or just did not feel she'd be able to make it to third. So she holds at second, and Carew is on after the error.
Well, Quinones got a little bit trapped up at second. You could tell she maybe wanted to go for it, but there was a scrum right there in her path, so she had to hold tight at 2. Still a nice base hit for Kristen Carew, the junior.
And we have a pitching change right here with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So coming on is Danielle Carrane, the right-hander in relief of Irene Protopopoulos.
A self-taught pitcher.
85 pitches on the day for Irene Protopopoulos. Had a tough time in the 2nd inning, but since then had settled down and had pitched a strong game. So Sacanelli comes on. You said self-taught, taught herself at 10 years old.
That's right.
And here she is as a sophomore right now for the Maria Regina team.
She has gained more strength every season.
It's more than a spectator sport on The Challenge. Check out the excitement and play along as high school know-it-alls compete in a fast-paced half hour of Q&A. Check out the premiere episodes of The Challenge weeknights at 6:30 only on MSG Varsity. And Sacanelli comes in with a challenge here with 2 on and 1 out. And her team down by 5 runs, trying to keep it that way, heading to the 7th inning, trying to build on that positive top half of the 6th inning for Maria Regina when they crossed the plate twice.
Number 1 and for 24.
And also coming off the bench is Maria Vaughn, who replaces a double switch, I guess. Protopopoulos exits the game. Vaughn will be the DH come the top of the 7th should we get there. 2 on, 1 out for Monica Muffaletto. And she takes a strike after bluffing the bunt. Foul straight back, strike 2. 0-2 on the senior second baseman. Also plays volleyball as well. Very good athlete. Count goes to 1-2 after the ball right there. Taking ball 2, 2-2 to Muffaletto. That one's straight, but just a little too low. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Count holds at 2-2.
Good patience right now by Muffaletto.
Quinones on second, Carew on first. 1 out, 2-2 on the ground to second. And they go the short way before they shore out. The second out of the inning goes 4-3 Polino to Tambarello. 2 outs, second and third for Victoria Quinones. Big day at the plate with a couple of doubles already. A home run would end this one right here with 2 outs in the 6th. Pitch taken high, ball 1. That one in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, but Quinones' sister Christine does not move off third. We've already seen Cardinal Spellman run themselves out of 1 inning. Did not want to do it again here. That one on the ground to short. Marcelo has trouble coming up with it. She'll eat it And a run will come in. So Christine Quinones scores, and Victoria Quinones, her twin sister, reaches base. First and third with 2 out. It's again a 6-run game.
Well, Victoria does so well as she hits the ball so hard with so much power, follows through with every swing she takes. Sometimes a defender just can't take up with the speed of that ball.
Defensive indifference allows Quinones to move up a base, so it's now second and third for Malaya Lambert with 2 outs. Count even at 1-1. On the ground again, another chance for Marcelo. Comes up with it and throws high, and a collision at first base. And time is going to be called as Tambarello took the worst of that collision, and she is hurt.
Don't get up yet. Don't be on her. Don't be on her. Don't be on her. Don't be on her. Stay still.
And play stops immediately as everyone tends to Tambarello at first base.
You hear Tambarello say it's not your fault to Malaya Lambert, who's clearly concerned. Malaya came out of the box a little bit slow, and then just a huge collision as they both bang knees.
And unfortunately, on the error, another run comes in to make it 11-3, and that'll do it. So Cardinal Spellman defeats Maria Regina by a score of 11-3. Tambarello seems to be okay now. Perhaps just a Charlie horse, which hurts a lot when it happens, but it heals fortunately. And Tambarello walking off under her own power. So this one is now official as Cardinal Spellman defeats Maria Regina by a score of 11-3. See teams, nice show of sportsmanship, shaking hands at home plate. But another victory for Cardinal Spellman, which improves to 7-0 on the season, defeating Maria Regina by a score of 11-3 in 6 innings.
We made Varsity. You're watching MSG Varsity.
ILTV Channel 14.
Need to avoid this? Head to News12.com's Traffic Center and check out more than 600 traffic cameras live on News12.com. Know before you go.
Hi, I'm Olympic gold medalist swimmer Cullen Jones. You probably saw me celebrating with my team after winning the freestyle relay in Beijing. But I didn't learn to swim to become an Olympic champion. I learned to swim because when I was 5 years old, I almost drowned. 9 people drown every day in the U.S., 3 of them children. But together, we can change that. Drowning is preventable. Visit www.makeasplash.org and sponsor a swim lesson for a child today. Together, we can stop the drowning.
Think you've got all the answers? Think you've got what it takes? Then think fast. And get ready to take the challenge.
I'm Jared Cotter, and on the next episode of The Challenge, Mount Vernon matches wits with Oceanside High School for an intellectual free-for-all. Don't miss a half hour of the most exciting knowledge ever dropped.
Take the challenge on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive.
High School Sports Desk is bringing you the most coverage in the tri-state area. With baseball and softball Tuesdays, where we check out the best action around the bases. Lacrosse takes the field on Thursdays, where we showcase the best games. And Friday is our track and field recap, as we bring you highlights from the top meets. All that and more on the High School Sports Desk, only on MSG Varsity.
Welcome back to Cardinal Spellman. The Pilots victorious over Maria Regina 11-3. Rich Ackerman along with Tara Pecciolino. And Tara, this was a terrific game that started out in the first inning. They matched ones across, but then the Pilots just blew it open in the second inning.
They exploded in that second inning. We knew what great hitters they were, and they did not disappoint. They came out in that second inning and smacked the heck out of the ball, and it really made the difference for the rest of the game.
And it made a big difference for Tiffany Rondon, the winning pitcher today. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Your first time on television had to feel pretty good.
Oh, it felt amazing.
How did that second inning feel? Gave you a big cushion to work with? Did it calm you down at all?
It did. We played excellent the whole game, so it was great.
And how about picking up an easy win today, a Mercy victory, winning by 8 over a longtime rival, Maria Regina. You've seen them. Were you nervous at all coming into today?
We were very nervous, especially being on TV. So yes, we were, but it felt great. They were a great competition. They're a great team also.
And how does it feel staying unbeaten on the season? Not only you, but the team as well.
It's amazing. Every team, wants to stay unbeaten, so we have that.
Was there a certain game plan? It seemed that you guys were very aggressive on the base pads early. Is that something you really wanted to exploit coming into today?
Yes, we wanted to be aggressive on the bases so we get more runs in so we can win, and which we did, and we played great.
And wearing down late in the game, you were throwing a lot of pitches. Were you worried? 2 runs in the 6th after you had retired the first 2 batters, a couple of errors, a couple of runs come across, that if it had gone to a 7th, how much you would have had left in the tank?
It was okay, but I had to concentrate down on the mound, and I have a team behind me, which is good also.
But the game ends in 6 after the Mercy. Congratulations again on the victory.
Thank you.
The winning pitcher, Tiffany Rondon, improves to 5-0 on the year. Another victory today. A couple of unearned runs allowed, and she was just flawless otherwise, but she had a lot of support. Big offensive attack today for Cardinal Spellman.
She definitely did, and one of the major attackers, Victoria Quinones, you came in batting. Victoria, over 800 is your batting average. That's just unheard of. What goes through your head when you step up at the plate? Your swing is just so strong. Your form is almost impeccable. What goes through your head as you face a variety of pitchers?
I just have to concentrate and put my hands on the ball. That's what I just focus on. Because I just have to focus not to get under the ball, because sometimes I do that, and that's how I got the pop out, because I went under it a little bit. But just stay straight, hands on, and you're good.
And how much does Coach Crane push you in practice?
He pushes me hard. If I miss a ball, he's like, is there a hole in the glove? What are you doing? Come on.
Now, it's pretty neat that your twin sister also playing on this team. You guys lock down the 2 corners. She plays first base. What is it like for you to throw a girl out with your sister catching the ball?
It feels great. It's like twin thing. A lot of people say, just back and forth.
She's right here.
Just knowing that she's there, it makes me more confident.
Absolutely. Now you guys improved to 7-0. What does that feel like, getting such a great start early on in the season?
It feels amazing. We knew that Maria Regina was going to come back strong, because last year we took their senior game, and so we were just hoping for the best today, which we got.
And what'd your coach say to you after the game?
He said, good game. We've all played good, and we're going to keep going.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again.
You could tell a lot of them were cheerleaders once before. A great cheer after the game.
Absolutely.
Led by the Quinones sisters, who not only are great cheerleaders, great athletes, but leading the way to victory today, along with Tiffany Rondon. It was just a great effort all around.
It was. It was a total team effort, both on the offensive and the defensive ends of the ball. They had really aggressive base running, and I think that was one of the keys to the game for them today.
And also capitalizing on Maria Regina's errors that really left them no margin, no pun intended, for error.
Yes, I really feel that today Cardinal Spellman played very smart softball. They did everything that their coach asked. They really followed the game plan. The outfield played really well. They played the ball very well today. And I think that the total team effort really helped them in getting this victory.
I guess it also helps. They got a run in the first to make things a little more comfortable, and then exploded, as you mentioned, with that 7-run second. When you able to just put the other team away that early, it kind of makes you cruise a little.
It does, and they had that nice cushion going into the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th inning. Maria Regina made it a little bit interesting in the 6th, but as we mentioned, Tiffany Rondon, with her defense behind her, they were really able to lock it in, stay mentally focused, mentally tough, and that's what you need to do. You don't get a 7-0 record to start if you're not mentally tough down the stretch when you need to be.
And 3-run 6th, putting this one away, making an 11-3 victory for Cardinal Spellman, which wins it by a score of 11-3. As you take a look at some of the final numbers, Tiffany Rondon goes 6 innings, allows 3 runs, none of them earned, 4 hits on the day, and struck out 2 in the victory, 11-3. We'd like to thank Dan Crane and Liz Pugsley, the coaches of Cardinal Spellman and Maria Regina High Schools, respectively, as well as Athletic Director Jane Morris of Cardinal Spellman. Once again, the final score, the Pilots victorious, 11-3 over Maria Regina, for Tara Petrolino and everyone at MSG Varsity, I'm Rich Ackerman. Thanks for watching MSG Varsity, the only channel that gives you high school sports and more 24/7.
Want to get more out of MSG Varsity and make yourself heard? Become a fan on Facebook. Share our regular updates on games, shows,
Are you ready for the challenge?
and special events. Stay connected to what's on air and online. MSG Varsity, now on Facebook. Facebook.com/MSGVarsity.bx.bk.